afternoon, folks. Can you guys hear me? So we're at Muses Labs, we're enabling precision medicine in the clinic. Let's talk about that. What is precision medicine? Precision medicine is the ability to target treatments to a particular individual, their biological status, as well as their specific disease and the nature of that disease. This is the future of medicine. This is how outcomes get better. This is how costs come down. And this is how individuals lead a healthier and a longer life. Now, we're doing this across multiple disorders, but we're starting with Alzheimer's disease. And Alzheimer's disease is one of those diseases that's been around this was identified over 100 years ago, but to this day, we don't actually have a solution for it. And it's because it's a complex disease. Let me ask a little question. I can see the people in the audience. How many people here plan to die before 85? Before you turn 85? Anybody? Good. I'm glad there are a couple of clowns. There are always some in every audience. So you guys don't have to pay attention to what I'm doing, but everybody else should. And here's why. Alzheimer's disease isn't 1 in 1,000. It's not, the incidence rate isn't even 1 in 100. It's 1 out of 2. By the time we're 85 years old, half the population has some form of this disease, which means the other half's taking care of the other ones. And what that also means is just about all of us are going to be impacted by it. So it's an important disorder for us to pursue. So here's what happens today if you go to a physician that's not working with Muses Labs, right? You have symptoms, you go to your physician, you talk to them, they'll run a couple of blood tests, they'll do a neurological exam, they'll run what's called a mini mental status exam. It'll tell you what you already know. Yeah, you're losing your memory. And then they'll say these magical words. We'll monitor you. That means they'll do nothing. So you continue to decline, 6 to 12 months go by, and you go back to your physician, look, I'm much worse. And they'll test you again. Yes, you are indeed much worse. And at this point in time, they might give you a couple of medications, Aricept and Namenda. But here's what they'll tell you. You know, this is half the population at 85. They'll tell you to put your affairs in order and enjoy the days you have left, because everybody with Alzheimer's will continue to decline, and you will die with it, and more than likely because of it. You will end up in a senior living facility. Chances are you're going to be spending $10,000 a month on that facility, locked up in a memory unit, which is just a fancy name for a prison. But here's what happens with patients that actually go to a physician that's working with Muses Labs. The physician will actually do a much deeper analysis on a patient that are utilizing our methodology and our big data platform. They'll actually get the patient's genome. Anybody here have their genome done? Yeah? Awesome. You guys are far ahead of the curve. Every patient that works with us actually gets their genome done. We get 107 blood test results done. We look at their entire medical history, including allergies, immunizations, comorbidities, medications they're taking, and we will also examine their lifestyle. All of this gets processed by our technology. This is hundreds of thousands of data points on a patient that is processed by a technology that has incorporated into it 30 plus years of Alzheimer's research. And the patient, instead of being monitored, they walk away with a personalized care plan and get coaching for adherence. The patients in 3 months, well, that's the wrong way. There we go. After 3 months, the patient will go back and they'll actually get an updated set of blood tests and an updated personalized care plan. And by that time, the early stage patients are actually better. And the data shows this. In our case, with the early patients, we've seen their memory function improve from 48th percentile for their age group to 55th percentile. The patients are actually improving their memory in a very measured manner. And here's why. Alzheimer's is a complex disease. It doesn't have a single underlying cause. So our methodology, driven by the data on that patient, it identifies all the active drivers and it addresses them simultaneously. So physicians do this across the country today. They utilize our methodology, our information service. We have a recurring revenue model that's already out into the marketplace, and we're looking to continue to grow the number of patients that are working with us. The physicians are able to make more money and deliver better outcomes by working with us. It's a very technology-based solution. It is driven on big data, and it's a platform that's designed to support multiple complex diseases. We're not for the sinus infections, we're for the complex diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, even depression and diabetes, and you can read the other diseases, but even undiagnosed diseases. This is a new set of work that we've started where we'll be pursuing specific protocols for treatment of diseases that don't even have a name at this point in time. The company has 2 founders. We have a fantastic board of directors at this point in time. We've raised $1.6 million and are working to raise our next round. We expect to use that round to scale our operations so that we can begin to serve thousands of patients and expand geographically as well as expand the disease spaces we target. If anybody has an interest, and we're particularly interested in parties that not only have an interest in growing their money, but also in making an impact. So if you meet those criteria, please do reach out to us. I'd love to have an opportunity to speak with you. Thank you.